Let's get this salad.
What?
That's how we're starting this off.
Let's get this salad. Everyone else is like, let's get this bread. You're like, let's get this salad.
Gotta eat healthy.
Oh my gosh.
Well, I
That
mean,
should be our motto
bread
throughout
is
this
healthy,
year.
though.
Let's
Not
get
as
this
healthy.
salad.
White bread will go to your hips.
But here's the thing.
What's white bread?
Regular bread.
Hey,
Regular bread.
what is something that goes in bread? Croutons. What are croutons?
No.
bread.
Bread makes croutons.
What part of crouton? What part of bread is crouton? All right, good afternoon, everybody. Sitting around the table here is I'm Chandler John. I'm serving this year as state president.
My name's Lukas. I'm serving this year as the North Central State Vice President.
My name is Nole Bachman, and I am serving as the Northwest State Vice.
The what?
The Northwest State Vice. The Northwest State Vice President.
Third time's the charm.
There we go.
Tyler Comas, Southwest State Vice President.
So a couple different things that we want to talk about today. One of the main focuses is just kind of stuff behind the scenes. So what it takes to really go into different events that we put on. One of the more recent, items that we've done is COLT, so the Chapter Officer Leadership Training. And I'm sitting here with three vice presidents who all put on their own COLT. What does it take to kind of get behind the scenes in a sense of, a COLT? What's it take to put it on?
You have to be crazy.
Why? What makes you do that?
You got to have a lot of mental strength to get through it because there's a lot of moving parts that you need to make sure are moving correctly, and there's a lot going on that you have to keep under control because if one thing gets out of line, the whole thing is gone.
I mean, I guess I didn't get a chance, Bucknell. What was it like for your COLT? I mean, I know Nole was there as well.
It was good. Stressful.
Yeah.
But we got through it and we hammered it out.
Yeah. I guess the three state officers that were there, we kind of...
Yeah, 3 out of the 9.
Yeah.
South Central got
6.
Somehow, the math ended up wrong. That's just a product of circumstance.
And I'm the one that's bad at math.
But Nole, I guess you kind of talked about it a little bit. There's a lot of moving parts. What are some of those moving parts?
Making sure you have the ample amount of rooms you need for the conference because the night before... I got to where my COLT was at, which was Dordt University. I'm not having any animosity towards them. Absolutely loved that university. But I got there, and they're like, I had these rooms picked out. And they're like, oh, you have half of those. And I was like, oh. So now it was a mad scramble to find rooms. And there was already so many other things going on. It's just, there's a lot of different things that go into it that not a lot of people see. And it's pretty hard, to do. You get all the glitz and glamour and then there's all the hard work behind it. So
yeah, I honestly like my first year when I went to COLT, I didn't even understand all the workings of it, but now seeing it playing in motion and planning my own, it's like, holy cow, that's a lot more work than it seems like.
Yes.
Because a 4-hour conference takes days to plan.
Oh yeah.
And it's insane. You would think I thought it'd be kind of easy because we had a lot of records and kind of an idea what happened in the past.
First, I didn't even go to COLT as an attendant. I was a facilitator my first time at COLT.
Yeah, same.
So I had no idea, and then not necessarily planning it, but being a part of it from the other side really gave me an understanding of how this thing works, and then actually putting one on made me realize that there is a lot that goes on.
Well, what's crazy even yet is, you talked about all the different days of planning, but where everything tries to really hitch together is the night before. Mm-hmm. I know for South Central's COLT this year, I showed up. So at State Convention, we have, the state officers, we get cardboard cutouts, and they sit around Hilton Coliseum and that sort of thing. And we got done with convention, and then we had another conference, the week after, where we had the cardboard cutouts of the retiring team up. And we were cleaning up the conference, and my cutout was gone. And I'm like, where is my cutout? And so I started asking around, and everyone's like, I don't know. So I'm wandering around, and we're setting up for South Central COLT the night before, and I come back into the lunchroom cafeteria thing, and there's my cutout, standing up there at the door, striking the Superman pose and everything else. I'm like, oh, there you are, Perry.
There it is.
Perry.
So what ended up happening
No,
was...
you're from Pella.
You're right.
Ha! Get it?
So what had ended up happening is one of the district officers had taken it and ran and was staying... My cutout was staying in their guest room. at their house. They folded it up, put it in the trunk of their car, and then drove it. And then a chapter grabbed my cutout, and now I think it's somewhere in Pleasantville.
Could you imagine how terrifying that would be if somebody stayed over at your house and, like, you don't even realize it, and then, like, behind a dresser in, like, a mirror, all you see is Chandler's face?
Well, especially if you don't know who I am.
Yeah, like, if they didn't know who he was, and it's just, like, Superman posed Chandler face, and...
Interesting.
Anything weird happened the night before yours, Bucknell?
No.
What?
Oh!
I don't remember anything. Other than the fact that we led a few people on a wild goose chase.
Oh
around
yeah,
Iowa
that's
Falls.
what it. So, North Central was in Iowa Falls, and Natalie, Lukas, and I were all in the same car. We were all driving Natalie's car, and we left the restaurant we ate at that night. And I took a wrong turn because I'm not familiar with Iowa Falls. That's just not a place I go to and spend time. But yeah, and we ended up at Walmart though, which was the main goal of the whole situation.
Yeah.
I think Natalie started crying once.
On our way to Iowa Falls the night before my Colt, we were going to get gas and grab a bite to eat. And
gas station food's the best.
True.
But as we were going by the exit, I guess I forgot to tell Nole, and I just looked back at Natalie, who's in the backseat of her own car. Instead of telling Nole to take the exit, I just looked back at Natalie, and I'm like, we missed the exit.
I guess I should have understood that who I was putting in charge of navigation. I should have gave it to Natalie. But
Play your strengths.
because Lukas, there were two exits right after each other. There was the on-ramp for this exit and then the on-ramp for the other exit. And Lukas was like, oh, you're going to take this one. No, that one. And then he just stopped talking as I drove past the one we needed to take. And then he goes,
was the good time to be
he
quiet,
just looks back, and Natalie's like, what do you want me to do about it?
COLT were one of the big things that we've tackled, but CDEs were another big one. So we've had career development events held at Kirkwood and also Iowa State. So those were, Kirkwood was held on June 11th, Iowa State on June 20th.
In Cedar Rapids, which is not an area I'm familiar with again.
No. What was nice though is the night before Kirkwood career development events, we got to stay at Natalie's aunt's house in Central City. I have never seen so many gnats.
Oh my gosh, it was so terrible.
So we were outside the night before just mingling. They were nice enough to us kind of run of the place. So we're like, yeah, sure, go do whatever. And so they had a trampoline outside. And, us being mature adults went outside and jumped around on the trampoline. And I don't, it must have been, it was near, sunset, so that's when bugs start to get really bad.
There was a wicked amount of gnats.
It was super, super staticky as well. Like, the trampoline that we were rubbing our socks on it.
It was a shocking experience.
Yes. But we really grew from it.
And then we had an electrifying time, so...
But, we would rub our socks on it, and then we'd zap each other, and then we'd scream and all that stuff.
That sounds awful.
That was great.
I wonder what Natalie's aunt and uncle were thinking. If they were looking out the window watching what us 5-year-olds were doing. We're sitting there rubbing our socks on the trampoline and shocking each other.
So that was one, I guess. But Kirkwood CDEs and just as general went fine.
Oh, yeah.
We had cameras running around there, which we saw a lot of cool... I've never really paid much attention to nursery landscape or floriculture or anything. That's pretty incredible, everything that goes into that.
There's nothing I don't come from a chapter where we go,
And horse is pretty incredible too. I'm not trying to discount that any.
No. But I'm not from a chapter that goes and does all these nursery landscape and floriculture and all the fun CDs way across the state. But
Northwest and Northeast, it's a bit of a haul.
But Inwood came, which is basically South Dakota, Nebraska, and Minnesota at the same time. But my favorite part about CDEs was actually at Iowa State. The morning we got there, we could not figure out for the life of us where the agronomy and food science building.
Iowa State was a lot of fun too.
Yeah, that
mechanics was cool.
Well, yeah.
Well, Tyler's upset because his sunglasses went missing.
My nice Oakley sunglasses are gone.
But he's fine with it.
And then I went to Casey's and bought a pair of pugs.
They seem nice.
Pugs?
Yeah, they're called pug.
As in the little dog with the nose thing? Yeah.
That's literally the picture.
That was almost every dog I kind of described there. Little dog with a nose thing.
Well, I mean,
Go me.
Not a Saint Bernard. Saint Bernards are big dogs with big noses.
Big dog.
Scary
big dog.
Oh my gosh. You're right, Nole. You kind of talked about at the beginning. It's interesting all the different things that it goes into putting on those events, like CDEs. the amount of hours that goes into whether it's on behalf of our interns that are
Intern?
sorting different things, and or us like having to help run the schoolroom. I say help run the schoolroom loosely.
You just kind of sit there and then talk.
But the advisors who take the time,
Yep.
help out there and then
stack papers.
Yeah, stack papers.
Pretty much what we did.
Giving the award presentation, that sort of thing. So.
In the back of my truck.
Bucky and I are experts at award presentations.
Oh yeah.
You missed it. We gave it in the back of my truck.
At the Ag 450
We
farm.
pulled it into a machine shed, dropped my tailgate. Chandler stood up in the back of my truck while I ran around and handed out awards.
That is actually like amazing.
Well, what's amazing is last year for State Soils we did the same thing in a different building, but yeah.
With CD's truck.
Yeah, past state president C.D. Brenniger, we used his truck and pulled in there, and yeah, he had his little like Eskimo fishing hat on that had like the little ear flaps you could flip down. He was presenting awards and that, and everyone else was like, we don't blame it. It was raining, it was cold, it was wet.
Looked like Elmer Fudd.
Yeah, a little bit. a little bit.
Oh, boy.
But yeah, so hopefully this is the first of many opportunities for us to kind of gather around a microphone and talk about different things that either go behind the scenes or just talk different areas that we experience as state officers this year, and continue to recognize all the hard work that our members do and the ways that we work to be able to put those on. So thank you so much for listening, and we will see you next time.